Our Region's Business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you. Our Region's Business. Innovation, transformation, momentum, improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, stepping up to a green workplace challenge. Environmental scientists converge on our region. We'll find out why. But first, the impact of the shale gas revolution on real estate in our region. And it's been quite profound. Carrie Holstead is president and CEO of Carrie Holstead Real Estate Consultants, and she's back with us today. Welcome. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, the last time I were here, you were bringing in colleagues from around the world who influenced site location decisions for a conference here in Pittsburgh.
That's right. We were having the ITRA Global conference here, spring conference. That was about a year ago that we brought our managing principals in from around the world who manage our ITRA Global offices, and it was a success, Bill. People from around the world who influence decisions about companies making a selection as to where they're going to be located came in, and it helped put Pittsburgh on the map, certainly with all of my colleagues who haven't been to Pittsburgh before, and now they're talking about it. So that's the first step in getting companies to come here and allowing our folks to be in a room with their clients and talk about Pittsburgh being on the map and someplace that ought to be considered.
Really cool. Did it really open some eyes, change a lot of perceptions when they came?
It did. It did, Bill, and you've heard it before. It's still known as the Smoky City. And people come here and they are tremendously surprised. And so we know that as soon as people are brought into Pittsburgh, it overcomes a lot of issues.
Well, since then, you've been really digging into the impact that all the natural gas activity has been having around our region. It's another really exciting thing that's happening here.
It is. It's had such a dramatic impact. In fact, I've said that it is one of the most dramatic impacts since the steel industry. It has had that kind of impact. Back in 2010, I was asked by a commercial real estate association by the name of NIOP to do a study that would reveal the impact of the oil and gas industry on the commercial real estate market. And then earlier this year, I received a call from a gentleman from the Marcellus Shale Coalition. He was the managing editor of the quarterly report. And he said, I would like to do an updated version of that. And I saw your study online. Could you do an updated version? And of course, you know, in the Pittsburgh tradition, the answer is yes to everything. And then you figure out how you're going to find the time, or we're going to find the time to do that later. And so it was a very intensive analysis. We literally looked at every company, how much square footage they leased, the value of their lease, which means how many square feet they leased, times the number of years of the lease, and the cost of the lease. And we came up with a calculation for every single oil and gas company, all of the major players in the marketplace. And that's how we arrived at the number we did. And what it showed us is not only does that number continue to grow, but in looking at the last 10 years and also including those leases, and these are office leases, that we anticipate having signed or being signed in the very near future, that there are about 1.9 million square feet of office leases right now in the Pittsburgh area, which is significant. And if you look over this 10-year period that I've just referred to, it's had about a $500 million impact on the industry.
$500 million just in the commercial office real estate market, yes, absent of everything else. Wow.
Absolutely. And that's really the oil and gas firms and the distribution companies. It's not the affiliated companies, and you and I both know, and the viewers know, that there are so many companies who have come to the Pittsburgh area to help out, to facilitate the growth of the oil and gas industry.
Dozens of companies in the supply chain over and above the actual energy companies themselves.
So my numbers are terribly conservative, and we're just looking at a short-term period of about 10 years.
Well, because the Marcellus Shale, they only found the gas down there about 9 years ago. Hasn't even been a decade since the whole industry started
Absolutely.
here.
This is so new, and yet it has had such a dramatic effect in such a short period of time. And we keep talking about Marcellus Shale, and what's overlooked in a lot of the conversations is also this Utica Shale, which when you review the maps, and I've had an opportunity to take a look at them now, and when I look at the maps, it shows that Utica Shale has a larger footprint of about 30% and is also actually thicker when you look at the formation. It is below Marcellus Shale. They're still doing research on that, but the preliminary research shows that that also is going to have a dramatic impact on the Pittsburgh area and may have more shale in it than Marcellus does.
More gas in it than the Marcellus does.
More gas, excuse me. Gas and oil can be extracted from it. So it's just tremendous. So we've seen in the past 10 years what has happened, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. And my friends and my clients that are in the business are saying this is a 100-year phenomenon. This is just the beginning of huge things to come. So if you look at what's happened now and you look at the study that my office has just completed, and you look forward 100 years, and you consider the other companies that are coming in and the industrial leases that are being done, this is going to have an impact of tens of billions of dollars on the Pittsburgh marketplace.
Very cool. Well, appreciate the perspective. Confirms a lot of the anecdotes I think all of us have been hearing. Carrie Holstead from Carrie Holstead Real Estate Consultants. Thank you so much.
Good to be here again.
See you again.
Thank you, Bill.
Next up, take the Green Workplace Challenge and improve your bottom line. Stay with us.